Yes, I can do that. So, welcome back to your #1 stop for PSO2 New Genesis gameplay, how-to, and all that jazz. And, like the comment asks, you guys want to know how to get your hands on the orbs that you will be needing to unlock your Kaizaar. And since so many of you also are trying to unlock your Kaizaar now, welcome to official in-game if you have made it to it in PSO2 New Genesis. And of course, today I'm going to show you the best way to farm the orbs. Don't get me wrong, it's still gonna be a few days, but hopefully I can make this a lot faster for you to finally get your hands on your Kaizaar. But before we hop into it, I do want to give a giant thank you to everybody that's supporting me over on Patreon, Twitch, and as well as hitting the membership below here on YouTube. And with that, let's jump into this, shall we? So to start off about the Icicle Orbs, these are going to be material that you can only get your hands on in Kvaris, and of course you need 900 of these for every Kaizaar weapon you want to unlock. So if you're working on your fourth one, you're going to need 900 total here. And of course, to get your hands on the items, there is a few ways to do this. But with this being all said, these will, of course, still take a decent amount of farming and also a bit of time, since there is only so many ways to get it in Kvaris a day, since these are tied to daily resets. For the majority of it, don't get me wrong, no way to farm it outside of the easier method, which is going to be some of the stuff I'm going to be showing you. But just know to get a giant amount of the through normal means that are not tied to trials in very specific zones. They are on a daily reset. So let's go ahead and break down what you need to actually do to get your hands on these. So, as far as what we are looking for, we need to get our hands on the gold chests that are covering ice. The thing is about these of course have shields, so you're not able to actually break these by doing damage like you would through any of the other chests, such as the green or red chests. These require you to do either two things. First of all, the most simplest option, if you have it, is of course the little yellow spikes. Since as you break these and you're able to pick these up, you can of course use this to break open the chests. And that is a good way to do it, but the thing is, not every zone in Kvaris will have these. And when that is the case, you need to go ahead and get your hands on the very clunky snowboard, since the snowboard itself can actually break open the chests as well as mining material by just whamming them. And if you go ahead and do just that, you will break open any material as well as the chests. So these are the only two ways to open these. But with that being said, now let's go ahead and talk about some of the best place to farm the chests. So to start off here, just know the chests do spawn in only Kvaris and do spawn in more or less every zones. But there is specifically two main zones of interest as I'm being attacked, because this guy obviously don't want me to talk about the wonderful farming method. Now that been settled, is of course two zones that will have a whole bunch of these, and then of course there is the zone right outside of the main Kaizaar camp, which I will go ahead and show you what some are. That does have a decent amount that are pretty close to each other. So ideally, these are the 2 to 3 zones you want to be focusing on. But if you are running around to all the zones anyway, just know you will find them gathering other places as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about one of the better places that you can farm, which is the core in central Kvaris. So if you go ahead and teleport in from the Icicle device, you will go ahead and find a couple gather about. So our fourth one is literally right next to the Icicle device. We got ourselves another one over here on the left side. And I get real quick also, just know the chests, it might move a couple inches depending on when they spawn, since they are on a daily timer, but they are roughly still in the same area. And then, of course, other than them two, we do have ourselves another one straight downhill that you can get your hands on net to that walk sometime behind it, as well as over here on the right side by the trees. And then, of course, from there, we're going to go ahead and head down just a tiny bit because we got another one right on downhill. And, of course, you can also pick up some money over there as well. And as you can see, there is another one there and downhill. So right there out of the gate is what, like 5, 6 of these? So pretty much as you follow that line down, you will go ahead and find a majority of these hanging out pretty much on the left and right side, since there is 2 more. There is another one over on the right side with the tree. And then, of course, a little bit farther downhill next to, of course, well, the lake, or I get technically the river, split off into a Y. You can go ahead and find you another 2 to 3 downhill. Just know when you do come that far, pretty much once you hit the jump pad hill, that is pretty much well the end for that zone. But this area also have a crap ton of mining material and fishing items. So while you are collecting these, as well as from snowboard or being able to break it with a yellow crystal, you can also get your hands on a crap ton of materials as well. So to pretty much follow it lake down all the way if you're interested in all the farming material. And not only is it the best point in Kvaris to pick up the orbs, this is also the best point in Kvaris to go mining as well. But with that being said, we do have another zone that is equally as good, and if it is a little more complicated, but it still have a whole bunch of the items, along with a handful of mining materials as well. And of course, that area is, of course, over here in West Kvaris. So what we want to do here is go ahead and load in at the very far right Wuka device, and from here we're gonna go ahead and get us any more. So once we spawn in at the Wuka device, we will be up here on top of the mountain. These are going to require you to do a lot more snowboarding because we don't exactly have the material that we can break. And also, as you can see at the time of the video, since we do have, of course, a whole bunch of randomite at will, this is probably good at will for you. But if we go ahead and come on down here, the will, of course, be broken into like 2 different paths down the mountain. So the 4th one will be over here on the right, of which you can go ahead and get your hand on, as you can see, all the way like 4 to 5 of these over here on the right. As well as over here on the left side, we will also see a whole bunch of mining material as well with the chests. Because as you can see, a lot of these chests do spawn pretty close to mining orbs. And then there was, of course, 2 more following down. And pretty much what we are going to do here is pretty much just go straight down, pretty much from the Wuka device here at the top. And we will pretty much be traveling all the way straight down toward the mag. Just know once you get off the mountain and you're on the beach, you have went too far. And of course, if you want a helping hand here, since you do got a social a little bit more here, which we will continue showing in a moment, well, the rest of them all, just know you can go ahead and go to your mag. And if you go to your sensor, you can also turn on, of course, gold chests that will help. And also material will as well, since, like I said, most of the time, the items will be net to, of course, material. But pretty much as we follow our way down here, we can go ahead and find a couple, mainly on each of these, bikes, I guess you can say. Which is, of course, you can go ahead and get you a couple more. And also, snowboarding will be available on each of these as well. So we got some over there. And then, of course, we will have a couple more over here that we can get our hands on, as well as some mining stuff. And, of course, from this one, which that one mainly only have the one up here on the edge, which will require a little tricky, so you're going to have to turn around with a snowboard. But pretty much, if you follow the down, you will find paths, as you can probably tell here, that will, of course, take you down any farther into any more of these chests. So of course from the middle one here, where you will notice it will be a gold chest on the bridge, we will find a couple going up that way, and then over here, if you're coming either straight down or you coming from pretty much the tip of it, we're gonna go ahead and follow this down and take a left. And then once we come on down here, we will go ahead and when we're on a snowboard here, we will have like a little jump pad that we can jump off. That will get us down here, which will give us our last couple of chests as well. So, once again, as you can see, it does put off a bit, but pretty much once you hit that point on the mountain, you're pretty much done. So, you might want to walk your way back up to make sure you haven't missed any. But once you hit that point, you are pretty much done as far as it's only concerned, as far heading to the ocean. So, hopefully that is helpful here. But, like I said, between this zone, which once again is West Kvaris and Central Kvaris, is the best place to farm these easily. And you're looking at more likely from at least my testing in the past, since I do pretty much farm these every day, can get roughly about 40 to 50 of the orbs just from these two zones alone. But let's say you're interested in hitting up the actual Kaizaar Camp and hit up the net area that don't have the same degree of the chests, but does have a couple that are pretty close to when you come out of the city. So we'll probably talking about how to get our hands on these. The thing is about this zone, it's a little more tricky though, because just like our last zone, we are gonna have to do some snowboarding to actually get them open. And the chests are a little more hidden, and so is the snowboard. So once you come out near the entrance where we enter from, over on the right side, if we head up a little bit, we can go ahead and find a snowboarding item up here that we can go ahead and get, as well as you can see, there's already a chest in front of us. So pretty much we will have a couple chests that heading straight up this way that you can get your hands on if you follow around this area. And then, of course, if you want to go ahead and get the other two, or maybe three, actually think about it, I think it might be three that are hidden. If we grab this snowboard and head pretty much straight back, and we head on over here to the right side, well, of course, you will see the jump pad area is, of course, down here. We can go ahead and get our hands on a couple more of the ice capsules down here, and also you will find also a lot of vegetable and stuff down here as well, if you are doing your daily. So this is probably the net bet point to do this. You can go ahead and find you roughly like another 5 or 10 just by following each paths on each side. But once again, just know you are gonna need a snowboard to actually be able to get them. And next on that one is a little more difficult because it's a little more RNG, but this is the one you can farm pretty much whenever you want. There is no time limit like all the other chests that we have talked about. These will not spawn daily, they will spawn randomly. So once you work your way through the story a little bit, you should have access to the ruins, and what we need is a very specific trial to spawn here. And of course, we might accidentally get lucky and get it right now, because we need to head to the T's, since these are the trial marker, and we're inside the battle sector. We will have a chance for a whole bunch of chests to spawn, and you will mainly notice it because once you see one chest, you will also see a whole bunch of snowboarding that you can go ahead and get your hands on to break it. So let's go ahead and see if I get lucky and can get it to spawn to show you exactly what I am talking about. And of course, there it is. So this one, you will notice chests spawned around. And what you want to go ahead and do is you want to make sure you can break open all the chests before actually completing the trial. Because as you can see there, someone went ahead and finished up the trial, which at the moment we ended up getting a PSE bolts out of this. But the thing is, if you see this scatter about, like I said, it's totally RNG. But whenever you do see it pop up, like I said, do not kill the enemy or try to keep the enemy killed to a bare minimum. Since once you kill enough enemy, any chests that haven't been busted open will, of course, despawn. And you will have to, of course, run around and wait for it to spawn again. And once again, it is 100% RNG. But once again on that, no time limit involved here. So if you have already gathered all the items or all the golden chests for the day in Kvaris and you want to keep farming these, or you just want to try to brute force it, coming to that zone and hoping that trial begin is the best thing to do to get your hands on all the orb. And just like that, you can get your hands on hopefully all the orb you need to actually complete the quest for Icicle and of course unlock your Kaizaar Weapon here. I know this might be, once again, a little sad to know there is not a super quick way to farm this stuff. You are still going to be looking at multiple days or multiple weeks to do it. But hopefully the video have made it a little more easier and help you understand how to be as efficient at getting these as possible. And hopefully before you know it, you will get your Kaizaar unlocked. So a big thank you once again to everyone that commented above to let me know about wanting a guide for this. And of course, if you need any help at all and you would like to see a video about it, especially if I haven't already made one, let me know in the comment below, and who knows, maybe that video will be whatever you desire. And of course, if you do want to get help right away, and if I'm live, since I do stream every single day right now starting around 7:15 p.m. Central over on twitch.tv/TroyMaconn. Come on by, and if I'm not playing PSO, feel free to ask any questions, and I will try to help to the best of my abilities. So with that, I do want to give a very, very big thank you. Once again, I get to, since we talk about Twitch here, to everybody that is supporting me for that month over on Twitch, as well as, of course, patreon.com/Maconn, and in the memberships below by hitting that wonderful join button here on YouTube. Thank you, my dudes. I highly appreciate it, every little bit, and helping us continue making a new Genesis video every single day right here on YouTube, and as well as streaming over on Twitch. Thank you, my dudes. And of course, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and do it for me for today. And if you have found that video helpful, make sure you do thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells, and I will see you all tomorrow, as well as in the comments.